Hey guys, if you're enjoying this podcast and want to help us out, we are on Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/7lamb, the number 7, LAMB. You can donate as little as $1 a month, and it all goes to helping us create podcasts such as this one. We also have multiple tiers to choose from with tons of bonus content like scripts, extra podcasts, bloopers, talks with the cast, early releases, and bonus episodes of your favorite shows. Once again, that's patreon.com/7lamb, the number 7, LAMB. Thanks.
Mom, I tried calling.
Did you? I'm so sorry. I don't know where my phone is right now. Come in.
I tried Dad, but he didn't pick up either.
Oh, he's on a call in the other room. I'm so sorry, honey. Is everything all right?
I can't take it right now. I can't take being in that house. And Val and I started fighting, and I had to leave.
Okay, it's okay. Come here.
I'm sorry. I should have waited.
Waited? No, you did the right thing.
It's not working, Mom. I'm trying, but it's just not working.
Okay, honey. Let me make us some tea and we can talk, okay?
Yeah.
Come on, honey. Leave your bag there.
Is it okay if I stay?
Yes, Dee. You could stay as long as you need to. Now, come on.
Seven Lamb Productions presents The Stone House, Episode 5.
After lunch, Val and I went outside. Not far from the stone house was a cliff overlooking a rocky beach and rough waters. He said it's just him and his son here.
Yeah?
But you said you saw someone earlier.
I thought I did.
But you're not sure now?
I don't know what to think right now. This guy's off.
He is a little weird.
A little? He strands himself and his son on an island.
They're not stranded.
And what's with him and your name?
I don't know.
You see the way he looks at you?
I wasn't really paying attention.
Really? Well, you heard the way he talks to me.
What way?
Like I'm an annoyance. I don't like him. And he tells us where to change?
It is his house.
You don't think it's weird?
Of course I do, Val. But what am I supposed to say? We're stuck for the time being. At least a boat will be here shortly.
What shortly? He said like a week.
He said a few days.
We don't know how long that is. The guy is being vague, and I think it's on purpose.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, a few days is better than the undetermined number of months until his wife returns.
He puts out a bad vibe.
Maybe he hasn't talked to anyone in a while.
Well, he's not going to get any visitors acting like that.
He's cut off. He probably likes it that way. I'm more concerned about his son.
Of course you are.
You're not?
What is there to be concerned about?
The way Gavin talks to him, and I looked back at the house, which was about 100 yards from us. I wanted to make sure we were alone. And his son doesn't talk at all.
He's shy.
I've seen shy. Hunter was shy.
That boy is older than Hunter.
I know he is. I think Gavin was lying.
About what?
His age.
Really?
Noah is older, but he isn't 5.
He said almost 5.
There's no way.
That's your issue with Gavin?
You don't think it's weird he doesn't know his son's age?
I just don't care.
I don't know what you want from me, Val.
Can you stop calling me Val?
What?
For fuck's sake, at least stop saying my name like that.
Like what?
With such disdain.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am. Fuck. At least I call you babe from time to time. And Dee. That fucker in there may not like it, but that's what I call you.
Keep your voice down.
Why?
I don't want to make a scene.
A scene? A scene? Who gives a shit? We are nowhere.
You know what I mean. He might hear us, and who knows what he'll say about us yelling. Hell, we had to change in separate rooms to benefit Noah.
How the fuck does that benefit him?
As long as we're here on this man's island, we're his guests. You may not like the rules, but if you didn't get fucking wasted on celebratory champagne, then maybe we wouldn't be here.
Fucking bullshit.
Tell me I'm wrong.
And if you didn't bring up a baby for the fucking 10th time...
Not the 10th.
Maybe you're right. Since we barely spent any time together, thank God I came up with this trip so we can finally hash things out.
Except you won't fucking talk to me.
I won't talk to you about bullshit I don't want to talk about.
A kid is not bullshit.
I don't want another kid.
I do. It's not always about you, Val.
About me? I don't want to bring another kid into this world because Hunter was...
Hunter was what?
I need time.
You were going to have to move past this like I fucking did.
You had it easy.
Easy!
Easier.
Easy.
Now who's being loud? You know what I mean. Easier. Easier than me.
None of it has been easy, Val.
Well, at least you don't have to fucking deal with the fucking pressure. I mean, his death eats away at me every fucking night and every fucking day. All I think about is how worthless I am to have let something like this happen. People threw bricks through our goddamn windows just to remind me of how shitty of a father, how horrible of a person I am. So yes, thank you for pointing out my drinking problem again, because God forbid I forget about it for once.
I stuck by your side through it all. All of it.
Not all of it. Don't exaggerate.
More than I should have.
No one told you to.
You're right. And no one told you to drink all the champagne and steer us into a storm.
Well, fuck me.
You should have gotten help when you said you would.
Say whatever you want. I won't replace Hunter.
It's not replacing him. No one could replace him.
I don't want another kid.
I was so angry, so hurt, so torn up inside that I forced myself to look away. I focused on the waves below. Then when we get back, I want a divorce. I want this to be final so I can fucking move on.
You want a divorce? You want one? Fine.
Just then, Val took off his wedding band and threw it over the side.
Fuck it.
It didn't make it to the water, but instead bounced its way off the slanted cliff face and into a grouping of rocks on the narrow beach below.
I'm going for a walk.
Val disappeared over the ridge. I wiped tears from my cheeks and decided to head back to the house. As I got closer, I noticed Gavin staring at me through the window with saddened eyes. He couldn't hear us, could he?
Here, have some tea.
This is really embarrassing.
No need to be embarrassed. Drink your tea, it'll calm you.
You didn't hear us, did you?
Oh no, the wind is quite loud up here. Didn't hear a thing. But I saw you two. Looked like a hell of a fight.
It's been ongoing.
Not able to see eye to eye?
I've tried so many things, but he just won't change.
Maybe he doesn't care.
He's stuck in his ways.
Some are. Drink your tea. Good.
Yes, thank you.
We may not have a lot here, but things we do have are enough.
As long as you're happy.
Very happy. Love me home, my son, my wife, my peaceful surroundings.
That's the thing. I want a family again.
Is that right?
Sorry, I shouldn't be saying this. I'm sure you're not interested.
I am. I'm very interested. But maybe we can tone it down a bit.
Sorry?
Don't want me Boyd over here.
Oh.
He's in his room for the time being, but if he comes out, maybe we just change the subject.
We don't have to talk about this.
No. We can talk. But it's like with me and my wife. We keep private things private. No need to involve the boy.
Right. Maybe I should check on Val.
He'll find his way back.
Gavin rested his hand on mine.
That's a big island, but not big enough to get lost. Tell me, he doesn't want a family with you?
Gavin still had his hand on mine. I slowly slid it out and grabbed my cup. Gavin leaned back in his chair and smiled.
I make you uncomfortable?
No.
Yes, I do. I'm sorry for that. I'm interested in your stories all. You want to vent? Vent. If not, we could save this for another time.
I'm just lost. I love Val. Always have. Since we first met, I knew he was the one. We did everything together. We explored the world. We did everything we could. We knew we needed to because when we had kids, it was obvious our lives would change. And when I became pregnant, things did change. No more traveling, no more scuba diving or rock climbing, no more random midnight trips. We used to drive across the state looking for something, anything to keep us entertained.
Was your relationship not enough?
No, it's who we were. We wanted to experience everything together. We never slowed down. But we had to when I got pregnant. And at that time, I was 30. I was ready to settle down. Val, not so much.
He still wanted adventure?
He did, but he was forced to stop. I was hurting because I knew he was upset.
He didn't want a child?
Not yet, but when it happened, and he coped. He loved Hunter. I know that. He would do anything for him.
How did your son die?
He drowned.
Drowned?
In our pool. A terrible accident. Val was supposed to be watching him. Actually, we had a babysitter, but Val sent her home early and, well, he had just been fired and stopped paying attention. I don't know. I guess Hunter got outside. Val blames himself, but also, if I had just came home 5 minutes earlier. 5 minutes! I'm sorry.
No need to be sorry. Death is not easy, but it is necessary.
Necessary?
Death's a part of life. Ironic, but true.
I just miss him so much. And everything since the accident has been so hard. Gavin leaned up and put his hand on my hand again.
Can I ask you a tough question?
Okay.
You promise you won't get upset?
Okay.
Do you think Val may have done it on purpose?
What on purpose?
Let your boy drown.
No! God, no! No! There's no way he would do that!
Please, keep your voice down. It's a tough question, but there's no need to raise your voice.
I'm sorry, but no. He wouldn't do that. The police, my family, friends, they all said things, but I know Val. I know Val better than anyone. He wouldn't do that. He's tormenting himself every day for what happened. I couldn't believe he asked that. Although deep down there was a period of time where I did blame Val. Not because I thought he did it on purpose, but because he was so careless to let it happen in the first place. It took a long time for me to finally forgive him.
All I'm saying is if he didn't want a child, that's one way of handling it.
He wouldn't do that.
I'm sure you're right, Delilah. I'm sure you're right.
Gavin took my cup and made for the sink. I wasn't even done with my tea, but he was apparently done with the conversation. Maybe I should check on Val now.
Sure he hasn't gone far.
I nodded and made for the door.
Delilah,
Yes?
if you head north of the house, be careful where the trees are full. The ground is very cavernous and it could be easy to lose one step.
You're telling me this now? Val went that way.
Well, let's hope he kept an eye out where he was going.
Why the hell would he tell me this now? He was watching from the window. He saw Val head north. Shit. Val! Val! Beyond the house, the land rose. I saw a few trees, but was surprised when I walked over the ridge. There was a small forest that rose higher, into the center of the island. Val! I couldn't believe there were so many. I wasn't sure what type they were. Maybe cedar? Val! As I continued my ascent, I slowed dramatically, careful to check my footing. I noticed some crevices where the grass was non-existent. Oh, please be okay. Val! That's when I saw him, through the thinning woods near the top of the crest. Val! He was standing on the edge of the rock, overlooking Moore Island. In the distance, the land rose once again. More trees, then more rock. And at the top of the rock formation, at the highest point of the island, sat an old lighthouse.
Look,
I didn't realize this island was so big.
it's like in the cave. The painting.
Wonder if it works.
Doubt it.
Val pointed at the lighthouse, even though I hadn't looked away. He was right, though. Missing stone and broken glass was evident. Pieces had crumbled and now formed mounds by its base. We could still ask him.
Gavin?
Yeah. Val just shrugged. We stood there, silent, the wind whipping at our clothes. All of a sudden, I was immersed in guilt as I realized how messed up it was to open up to Gavin about Val. That was private, and I never should have done it. But so often, Val wouldn't talk to me, and with no one else around, I needed to get some of that off my chest. Especially after Val just took off. I looked over at him, and a few seconds later, we locked eyes.
I'm sorry, Dee.
It's okay. I'm sorry, too.
There's no need to be.
Yes, there is. We both said some things, and I think it's because of our predicament.
Do you really think that?
You don't?
I don't know. All I wanted was for this to be a new beginning. And all I did was fuck it up.
But what's one thing we've learned over the past year? We can overcome it.
We haven't learned that. Because we still don't want or need the same things.
You're right. But we don't have to beat each other's throats about it. We care for each other. That's why we're here.
No, we're here because I fucked up.
I meant together. That's why we're here together.
You know, he was watching us from the window.
You saw that too.
As I walked by.
He's a weird guy, but we have to make do.
For now.
Let's go back. He said this area can be dangerous.
You see that? I nearly fell over there.
Val spun around and pointed behind me.
Who knows how far.
I stepped closer and grabbed his hand. Come on. He nodded and we made our way back to the stone house. After dinner, which was another awkward experience, Val and I sat by the fire. We had asked Gavin about the lighthouse, but he said it hadn't been operated for nearly 4 decades. He also mentioned it was a dangerous area, so we should keep our distance. It seemed like there was a lot of dangerous areas on this island.
Do you think the guy has extra sheets? Doesn't seem like he has much.
He said he had something.
I imagine it gets cold here at night, and there's no fireplace in the bedroom.
We waited for Gavin to return. He was currently putting Noah to bed. I was cold sitting by the fire. I couldn't imagine what it was like in the bedroom.
And he's set for the night, but that leaves you two.
How cold does it get at night?
Don't you fret. We'll find you some nice big, warm, fuzzy blankets, and we'll find something for you as well.
Gavin walked back the way he came, down the hallway.
You get nice, warm, and fuzzy blankets. I'm sure I'll get a burlap sack.
Stop. He can probably hear you. Val shrugged.
I hope this'll do.
Gavin entered the room with 3 neatly folded blankets and 1 sheet. That should do just fine.
Good, good. Here, these are for you, and this one's for you. I figured you won't need much to keep warm.
Why is that?
Being by the fire. I believe 1 blanket should suffice.
He handed Val a small wool blanket and gave me the others.
I don't think I understand. We can share these, right, Dee?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, I see. Seems to be an awkward situation for sure. As I've stated before, I don't like my son being around, or should I say seeing such impurities.
Impurities?
I know human nature, and I don't think it's right for my son to see a couple of strangers sharing a bed.
Wait a second. I'm sorry, what? We can't sleep in the same bed?
We have no intentions of, if you're worried about...
Who cares if we did, Dee? That's none of your business.
If it's in my household, it is my business.
So I'm supposed to sleep on the couch?
I think a gentleman would let the lady have the spare room, yeah.
Oh, so I'm not a fucking gentleman.
Don't use obscenities in my home.
Val, stop.
No, this is stupid. We're married. We can't share a bed.
Well, with the way things are going, I don't think it's right that my son would have to possibly hear 2 strangers fighting over past grievances, like the spectacle you put on today. Furthermore, if anything were to be solved, I don't think he needs to walk in on 2 lovers fornicating on a bed that his mother sleeps in.
So we can't share a room because of your insecurities.
Well, as long as you 2 are in my home, you'll treat me and my family with respect. You'll not change in front of each other. You'll not share a room. You'll not fight. And you'll not use obscenities. If you have a problem with that, you're welcome to leave. But I can assure you, out there is much colder.
Val and Gavin had a stare down as the light of the fire bounced off their faces. I didn't know what to do. Neither man looked like they would stand down.
As with my son, I don't like to repeat myself. Show respect, receive respect. Now, do you want the blankets or not?
Val, it's fine. It's fine. Gavin, you're right. It's your house. We respect that. Val didn't say anything, but Gavin smiled warmly.
Delilah, I'm sure you'll be comfortable.
Yes, I'm sure I will.
I'll keep the fire on, but don't add any more wood. Let it die when it's ready.
Sure.
Night.
And what's stopping us from just going to the bedroom together?
Val, stop. Let's not do this, okay? Let's just abide by his rules. I don't want any trouble. He's letting us stay here.
Fine. But the guy's a fucking nut.
Keep your voice down.
He's a fucking nut, Dee.
I don't want to sleep on the grass for the next few nights.
I said fine.
I nodded as Val slumped onto the couch. He took off his shoes and then threw the blanket over him as he got settled. I went to the bedroom. The room was so empty, but I took my sheet and quickly threw it on the bed. Then I laid down on the cold mattress and threw the blankets over me, tucking in my feet. The covers didn't keep me as warm as I wanted, but they would do. Luckily, the day was an exhausting one, and in a matter of minutes, I was out.
The Stone House. Written and edited by Robert M. Lamb. Starring Corey Pettit as Delilah, Robert M. Lamb as Val, Jack Austin as Gavin. Co-starring Amy LeRae. Music provided by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. If you enjoy this podcast, don't forget to rate and review. Visit 7lamb.com for more podcasts such as this. This has been a 7 Lamb production.